Welcome to an episode of Play-Doh. I am Dionne Reid, and today we have a special guest, and her name is Jodie Simone.
Hi guys.
Wow.
Hailing from South London is the all-round creative Jodie Simone Howe. Her creative flair and costume-making skills have captured the attention of many, resulting in her working with some truly incredible household names. Jodie Simone is also the founder of the Black Costume Network, advocating for a diverse culture within the costume industry. Please welcome our Play-Doh special guest, Jodie Simone Howe.
Tell me, what do you do?
I do quite a lot, but now I've kind of streamlined it. But I would call myself like a creative artist, but I work in the medium of costume at the moment.
Okay.
In TV and film.
So what does that look like? What does that look like on a day-to-day?
On a day-to-day, when I'm working. Because I'm self-employed, so I'm not always working as like dips, but when I am working, I work as a costume standby, which basically means that I look after actors on set in TV and film, making sure that their costume is neat and the continuity is looking great. So that's the main thing. But I also, from last year, started doing my own costume design. So I did a couple of like music videos and short films. I'd started getting into costume design through dance because some of my friends had said, oh, do you want to help me do this? And I ended up designing, and people were like, oh, it's actually quite good. So I was like, oh. And I went to a Royal Television Society event, and I met this amazing woman who was the only other black person in the room. And we kind of, you know, like when you see a black person at an event and you're the only two black people, sometimes you can avoid each other because I'm like, I don't want to go straight away to go and talk to them. So we kind of did a little bit of a dance around, and then we ended up in the same queue, got talking, and she was like, yeah, I'm kind of moving into more design. I'm looking for somebody to help me. And so I kind of got in that way. And yeah, we basically, that was the dream team for like maybe 2 years. I did some like music videos with her and some short films.
So you went from being a creative kind of friend that everyone knew and asked for help to making it into costume design. That transition was over a span of how long?
So I've been working in costume about 7 years.
Wow, mad.
No, yeah.
Mad, and you're only like 15 as well, so it's mad, isn't it?
I'm only 15.
Me too. So can I ask you a question? So what, how was you able to now go from something you naturally love doing as like an expression to now charging for a service that you provide?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question. Because I kind of I was winging it. I've been winging it this whole time. I think people are just like, oh yeah, like, you know, I've been winging this whole thing. But for me, I just made a decision that I just wanted to focus on doing things that I love, and hoped and prayed that would, people would kind of gravitate to it, and I would find a way to make money out of it.
So when did you get to a point where you're like, no, you need to pay me for what I'm doing?
Because you've got bills. I've got bills to pay, do you know what I mean? Let's be real. I got bills, I need to be paying my bills, yo. So it's like, it's one of those things that there's only a certain amount of working for free you can do. The internship I originally got when I was a researcher was paid. And I was like, if they can pay me for my internship, it's not a lot of pay, then I should be paid, even if it's a bit, do you know what I mean? And then after a while and you kind of grow, you can charge more for your services. But it's been, I think it's been a while. It's not something that has kind of happened overnight.
So this is the game. We are playing Find the Royals. What we need to do is turn over the cards and find the Royals. Once we find the Royal, we stop, and then that's it. All right?
Actually, no, hold on.
You found him?
I already found him. Bro.
So why did you leave him there?
Well, I don't know. I feel
like the point should go to Dionne because he's in class. In the creative industry, a lot of the kind of creative fields, like what you do as well, kind of seen as the after thing. Do you find that?
Yeah.
And so, did you find it easy to just like assert yourself in your value and then step in your value, or was it something that had to be introduced to you outside of you?
I would say outside. I think, you know, it's difficult when you love something because you will do it for the love and you'll do it for free. But I think the value is in what we do. And I think, I can't remember, I was reading something once where they were saying, you think that you're coming to me to pay for me to do a little bit of 1, 2, 3, but what you're actually paying for is the years of work that I've put in to get to the research and I've done to get to this point where actually I can provide that service for you in an hour or in a day. But all those 7 years that I've been putting in, that's what you're paying for. Do you know what I mean?
So what kind of creative ventures have you taken? Not even creative ventures, what financial ventures have you taken that you didn't think was possible as a creative, self-employed woman?
I got a mortgage. I bought, when people say I bought a flat, it's like I didn't pay for the whole flat. Like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I got on the property ladder. Like, I didn't think it was ever possible, because when I was at uni going in to do television journalism, that's what I studied, one of the tutors was just like, you're going to be self-employed, so make sure you've got savings, but also, your income will be like this, and it might be hard for you to get a mortgage. You might not ever get a mortgage working in this industry unless you're in a contract. So I always had that in the back of my mind, like, I probably won't be able to do it on my own. So it was that thing of like, maybe, when I meet my Prince Charming, like I'll have, it wasn't in my head. It was kind of like, I'm going to keep like looking after my money. And I always made sure I had a buffer amount. I kept calling it a buffer amount of money because I'm self-employed. So if there's a month when I'm not working, I can hit the buffer amount. It's difficult, but if you build yourself this, then you've got like a cushion if stuff goes left. Yeah.
That's a Jodie top tip, guys. A buffer amount. Buffer? Not buff thing, buffer. Because we know some anyway, buffer.
Yeah, so when I was at uni, I was working on the weekends when I was at uni. Oh, wow. So then when I got my loan, I would save some of the loan. Right. So when I came out of uni, I had some loan money left from then. So that was my first buffer.
Second round is the queen. 3, 2, 1. Okay, you try to get me. Okay. You trying to come? Okay, come on. Okay, get out of my house. You tell them over, John.
Queen. Oh. Bang. Are you mad? Look at this. And I even got a joker. My dad said this thing to me when I was young, and it really stuck with me. When I was getting pocket money, when I started working, he basically said to me, spend half, save half. Wow. And it is like, sometimes you can't save half because it's not possible. Yeah. But that has always been the thing that's been in the back of my mind. So whenever I get paid, if it's like, okay, cool, I get £100, 50 pounds of that is mine. But the other 50, it goes into it goes into the account, and it's like, I don't touch it, I don't see it. Do you know what I mean? So
it sounds simple, but it just puts the practice in. Like,
because sometimes it's not going to be half. It's not going to be 50-50. Exactly. It might be 60-40. Do you know what I mean? But if you always have in your mind that like all of the money that you get is not all for you. It's for future, for rainy day, whatever. Do you know what I mean? And I've just always had that. So that's kind of how I've gone about it.
You got Pops in that as well.
Yeah, man.
So I wanted to ask you, you kind of spoke about Pops anyway. Like, what kind of things from your childhood do you think have shaped your approach to money?
Some people in my family are not great with money. Like taking a church, like some people in my family are not good with money, and I've seen that. So that's why I always ran away from like things like credit cards, because I was like, oh, credit cards are bad. And then I was like, well, when people were like, oh, you're gonna get a mortgage, you need to have credit. I was like, I'm good with money, but I had no credit. So I was like, credit cards are bad. Don't even do anything to do with credit cards. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I kind of looked around me and saw what was happening. I saw that my dad's a very working class guy. You know what I mean? He's a postman. But like, he's made it work. Like, he owns my parents' house. And do you know what I mean? He's done, like, he looked after me and my brother. We never wanted for anything. So for me, seeing that, I was like, you don't need to be a multi-millionaire to be able to have these things. But these little things that he's put in place have really worked for him in the grand scheme of things. And I think I've just tried to follow that side of things rather than the people that are just out here spend, and then nothing to really show for it. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day.
All right, so the final question I want to ask you is, what tip would you give to younger Jodie?
I would tell her to listen to her heart, like listen to that creative spirit and don't let people burn it out of you. Like, I think this world can often do that with creative people.
Very true.
Luckily, I had great people around me. My parents were very encouraging. The people my mum, this I know I'm dropping them gems, but my mum always said, like, don't make friends with anybody you can't bring home. And so for me, I was like, we can be cool, but if you won't be my friend until I know that I can take you into my house, you're not going to be putting your feet on my mum's sofa. And,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be showing respect.
Imagine.
So like, I think for me, it was always that. And I think that in having that essence as well allowed me to think these people are my tribe and, you know, they will help edify me. And I feel like that's definitely what I say is, like, have the right people around you. And if you can feel the vibe is not right, take yourself out of there. Like, take yourself out of there.
Tense. The third and final round. I'm doing the Mr. Burns fingers because it's the real deal, all right? We are finding the Jack. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Hit.
Jack.
Hit. Oh. Ooh.
And I didn't even.
We're going to reveal the masterpieces. They're going to be available on my website for sale. I'm joking. We got to make that dope. I'm joking. All right, so Jodie Simone.
I don't know if it will turn around without all of it falling off.
No, it won't. We're going to put some of it. Can you describe to us? Yes, I know her. Is that me?
Oh no, it's actually me, but it does look like you today with that. Yeah, it's us.
It's us.
It's a representation of us. That's what it is.
It's my favourite.
Yeah, it's actually us. That's what it is. This is a representation of, you know, black women doing their thing, queens on the throne. Right. Do you know what I mean? But having a bit of a laugh at the same time. You know what I'm saying? That was an accident.
You know, I thought it was swag.
Yeah, it was just a swang.
She's like,
swang. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like openness.
I love that.
Open.
Can you name it for me, please?
Throw your throne. Like, you know, you want to throw it because people need to understand that, you know, you're queen.
Throw your throne. But then if you say boomerang,
it will come back to you. It's going to come.
Because you
come back.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I respect that still. So you're ready to see mine, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
This is my guy.
Oh, wow.
This is my friend. His name is Rastaman Jack.
Can we see the front? Is this the front of Rastaman?
Every angle is the front.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's got eyes everywhere.
Wow.
So you don't
third eye strong.
Right. So you don't mess with Rastaman Jack because Rastaman Jack don't have no back.
Hello there, people of the internet. My name is Mishka and you're watching Play-Doh. Check for grants or funding. With everything that's been going on, councils or organisations are giving out grants or funding to people affected by COVID-19. Check organisations in your industry or local council to see if funding may be available to you. The Breaks. This account covers everything from budgeting to entrepreneuring. Did you know that checking your credit doesn't affect your credit score? Let us know what you think. Comment below.